Is your debt causing you sleepless nights? Knock your debt out with Debt KO. And your debt won't be the only thing keeping you up at night. Debt KO, free impartial advice on all your debt. This is KUGAN CASSIUS for IFL TV in association with MTK Global. It's Ben Formella Fight Week. We're in the bubble. It's been a while since me and Frank Smith have actually done an interview. Welcome to IFL TV.
Thank you. Shall I do the jingle? It used to be iFilm London, didn't it? I remember I watched that back the other day when I looked about 12 even more spots than I've got now, and an even worse haircut than I've got now. That feels like, what was that, 10 years ago?
More or less.
Mental. A day in the life of Eddie Hearn. Mad times.
You know when you cracked it.
When they make you do the jingle. You're watching iFilm London.
There we go. Frank's one of the old school iFilm Londoners. Frank, before we get on to Ben Formella, obviously huge news last night. Broke that Canelo, Saul Alvarez, will take on our very own Callum Smith, December 19th, venue to be confirmed. Can I ask what kind of time this deal was done? Because I spoke to Eddie in the afternoon, asked him, he was very vague about the whole situation, but as I understand, this was done pretty close to that 11 o'clock announcement from Canelo.
Normally there's no secrets between you two, is there? Like, you know everything, and you get the first exclusive, don't you? So, yeah, it was very late in the day. It's obviously Canelo's show. He posted earlier in the day that he was announcing a fight later, or announcing some news later. So, yeah, it was very, very tight to the deadline. But it's exciting and a huge opportunity for Callum Smith as well.
We were kind of umming and ahhing, but I suppose when we knew there was going to be an announcement, I suppose Callum Smith was always the front runner. As far as you were concerned, were there other opponents that were considered that could have taken the nod ahead of Callum Smith?
Possibly. I think there was a number of options that Canelo was looking at as well. So as I say, when he announced that he was announcing something at X time, everyone was looking at it like, right, what's he done? What's he agreed? Because we, as you know, as Eddie didn't bring it up, we hadn't agreed anything at that point. So, yeah, I think there was lots of opportunities for him. I know he was looking at like Caleb Plant as someone to fight as well. A number of different names. Everyone's throwing their name in the hat. Of course they would, to fight Canelo. It's the biggest opportunity out there, isn't it? So, yeah, I think he had a number of options, but it's great to get that fight on. A huge fight for the 168-pound division and for boxing. A great way to end the year.
So after Canelo's situation regarding Golden Boy and DAZN, within literally 2 or 3 weeks, he's back on DAZN, obviously working alongside Matchroom. So a little bit of a turnaround in that respect.
Yeah, I mean, I can't obviously talk on behalf of what happened between DAZN, Canelo, Golden Boy. You know, we weren't a party to that. But, you know, it's a big move for DAZN as well, obviously, to get him back on the platform. They worked with him for the 3 fights in Fielding, Jacobs and then Kovalev. So, you know, they wanted to, I'm sure, they always wanted to continue working with him. So it's great for them as well to have him back on board. And, you know, they've worked closely with Canelo and exciting to have the fight on.
Now, originally, DAZN's plan, I don't know how much of this has changed, was obviously meant to launch with the fight between Luke Campbell and Ryan Garcia on the 5th of December. That's not obviously taking place. So am I right in thinking this is their debut launch show in the UK? I know they're obviously going to various other territories around the world, but just for the UK fans, this is more than likely going to be DAZN's opening show in the UK.
I think probably, you know, they've got, I think they've set a launch date for the global platform. You know, obviously they've got the Joshua Pulev fight on there, excluding the UK and Ireland, which is obviously with Sky. So I don't really know the exact detail yet. I'm not sure. You know, things have happened very quickly with Campbell Garcia being postponed. So we'll see what happens. But they're still doing Joshua Pulev, as I say, on the global platform, excluding UK and Ireland. So that will go out everywhere. So that will probably be the launch, not globally, but the launch of that platform, essentially. Yeah,
okay. But as in regards to, these are probably not really questions for you, but their plan, obviously they announced, was to make it $199 as a start off for the month. So effectively, am I right in thinking for $199, some parts of the world you're going to get Smith Canelo and Joshua Pulev.
Yeah, so for example, if you're in Poland, or if you're in Bulgaria, or if you're in Spain, I could list quite a few countries. I'm not going to because I'm not sure we got all day. But yeah, you'll get that on the platform. So very exciting.
Absolutely, but even $1.99 to watch in the UK, Canelo and Callum Smith is extremely good value for money.
Yeah, no, it's very good. They obviously, a lot of people were quite shocked by that when they did it, when they originally announced it, and I think it's local currency basically, so it's effectively that in all the various markets. So yeah, I mean the first people to really do that in all the markets. You know, you look, take away from just the UK, but they're the first people that you go to and say, right, Joshua Pulev, for example, is available. It's quite easy to sell that way, isn't it? Joshua Pulev is available on Sky Sports Box Office and DAZN in the rest of the world. It's quite easy to push people that way.
Huge opportunity for Callum Smith. It's been a Guess Who game this whole year, pretty much. Variety of different fighters. Obviously, quite notably, Billy Joe Saunders was very close to landing the fight in May. But Callum Smith has been linked with Canelo also during the year. So for him to get that opportunity and see exactly what Callum Smith's made of is going to be a big test for him.
Yeah, it's a huge fight for Callum Smith. He's obviously the much bigger man, isn't he? But, you know, as you mentioned there, we had Billy Joe Saunders. That was done, that deal, and then obviously fell through due to COVID. But it's a great mix, isn't it? And there's some huge fights. Callum Smith's got the opportunity to go out there and, you know, really shock the world, essentially, because everyone knows of Canelo. And I think will make Canelo the favourite in this fight, but it's Callum's opportunity to go out there and shock everyone, just like he did in the World Boxing Super Series as well. You know, he wasn't favourite going into that, but he ended up becoming the winner, and he's got that opportunity here as well to carry on.
And also, the little sub-story to this is Hearn and Gallagher working towards the same goal. I'm not saying they'll be working together as such, but working towards the same goal to get the win for Callum.
Best of friends, aren't they? Yeah, I mean, I think that will be an interesting first meet, won't it, between the two of them. KUGAN will be there at Heathrow Airport as they're flying out together. Be an exclusive.
And also a mention to Sean OToole and Paul Reddy for their company as well. That's involved in an advisory role towards Callum Smith, so I'm sure they were obviously involved in his negotiations as well.
Yeah, second to none. Congrats on the launch as well as that, guys. And what a first week. I'm not sure anyone's ever had a launch week like they have. So it's a pretty impressive start. Normally launching on Friday the 13th would be unlucky, but they seem to have pulled it out of the bag somehow. So congrats.
Yes, absolutely. We're in the bubble, as we mentioned, which we're quite getting used to here at Wembley. You've been here every week as well, Frank. Ben Formella, obviously...
Like a name. Ben Formella. Not Ben v. Formella. Ben Formella. Sorry.
Yeah, tough fight for Conor Ben, but also on the card, Fabio Wardley gets a test against Richard Lartey, obviously Alan Babbage and Tom Little, and there's been a couple of changes to the other undercard fights as well.
Yeah, so huge show, as you mentioned. This is a huge step up for Conor Ben, obviously. Formella, who's only lost, was against Sean Porter in his last fight in the US. So it's a whole huge leap, isn't it, when you think about it for Conor Ben? But, you know, everyone's saying Tony Sims in the gym, saying he's been looking fantastic. And no, it's going to be really looking forward to this fight. Conor Ben, you know, we wanted to get him back out for quite a while. And I think he's spent this time away and off really growing and developing. You know, he's only young, so learning so much. And yeah, you got Wardley, Lartey, great fight. I watched back Lartey when he fought Daniel Dubois, and they just went at it, I think, in the third round or something like that. And literally, he's a tough cookie. Tough cookie. Yeah, don't know where that come from. Richard Lartey, and I think he's going to give Wardley a good fight. You know, it's early on in Fabio's career as well, so that's good. You and I just saw Tom Little, who is looking like a brand new person, and I want to go on whatever plan he's been on because he looks in unbelievable shape. But another step up for Alan Babbage, you know, just fighting just a month after his last one, just over a month after his last fight. So that's going to be entertaining. And then we just announced Ridings. He's on the Ridings. Ben Ridings is on the card. He was supposed to box in the Ultimate Boxer. So looking forward to that one as well. And I've got one other, but I'm staring at you and my head's completely gone.
Sean Kearns' fight.
Sean Kearns for the English title.
Yeah.
So, yeah, good card, good strong card. Looking forward to it. Some big heavyweight fights. And, yeah, Conor Benn, this is really a step-out occasion, I'd say.
Definitely. So we've got this show. We have the Saunders-Murray card, which is on the 4th of December. And obviously the last show here in the UK for you guys will be Joshua Pulev. A couple of fights announced for that recently as well. Fury, Wack and Piccoli and Kuzman. And then Smith and Canelo. It's a very strong end to the year, Frank.
Yeah, great end to the year. I'm really looking forward to Saunders-Murray. Got some big announcements for the undercard there coming as well. Got a few fights to release on that show. December 12th, as you mentioned, the main event. Joshua returns after a year out the ring. It's going to be exciting. You've got, as you mentioned there, Fury against Wack. Good fight for Fury, and a big win. If he can topple the big Marius Wack, he's a big old lump, isn't he? And then Piccoli Kuzman, which has been a fight we've been trying to get done for a while. Obviously, it was supposed to be on the August 22nd show when Dillian Whyte boxed. Kuzman had to pull out, but yeah, good to get that one back on. Another couple of fights to be added to that show as well. Already announced Piccoli Glowacki as well for the WBO world title. And then, yeah, as you mentioned, after that we go out to the US and a few other shows to end the year. We've got another one we're just working on, which will be announced soon as well. So it's, when you think of the year we've been through, or everyone's been through, I feel like coming back with Fight Camp and just working from there, it's been non-stop, and I think we've had some great nights, and we've managed to sort of salvage what has been a tough year for not just the world but for boxing as well.
Indeed. Are we close to confirming a date for Dillian Whyte's rematch with Alexander Povetkin?
Yeah, working through that currently. I think when it comes to just the start of next year, I think it's important to look at how we come out the back of this lockdown as well, because things are constantly changing, constantly evolving. So, I think we will see what happens there, and then we can look at venue opportunities, etc., and where we go with things. But yeah, that's definitely the aim. Povetkin's back, getting back on the mend, and that's definitely the aim to get done towards the end of January.
Just finally, any updates on when Luke Campbell will have his fight with Ryan Garcia?
I just spoke to Luke Campbell. He's back training, back feeling good. We're waiting for some news from Golden Boy, who are the promoters of that event, who are working closely with DAZN. So as soon as we got some news on that, we will inform everybody. But that's another great fight, and huge night for Luke Campbell.
Okay, Frank Smith, have you got anything else you'd like to add before we finish?
It's good to be back in the bubble with you, KUGAN. How nice is this compared to the Holiday Inn on Brentwood?
Shout out the Holiday Inn, though. It was a good fight camp.
Shout out the Holiday Inn, because the cricket was fun, but it's different gravy here, isn't it? Let's be honest. I think everyone's quite enjoying it. We've got games room, cinema room. It's just endless fun, to be honest. KUGAN's barely doing any interviews. He's just here for a little jolly, I think.
Vodka on tap?
No vodka, unfortunately.
That was a joke.
Yeah, that is a joke. Unfortunately, unless he's brought some with him which is very potentially possible, and then because he's been spending a lot of time in his room just drinking vodka. So, if you see any loose videos of KUGAN, that's just him alone in his room drinking a bottle of Smirnoff.
We've upgraded to Absolute. Yes. Frank Smith, thank you very much for talking to IFL TV. Best of luck with this week's show, and we'll catch up with you again soon.
Thanks, Coop. See you later in the week. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Is your debt causing you sleepless nights? Knock your debt out with Debt KO. And your debt won't be the only thing keeping you up at night. Debt KO. Free, impartial advice on all your debt.